Welcome to the SRG Sports Talk Show. This was supposed to be done yesterday, both of these videos, but we're going to do one video today, and we're going to be able to do this. I'm going to get my top 7 teams of NFL head coaches in the NCAA. I'm going to give you my top team coaches for the NCAA that become head coaches for the NFL. Now, I'm going to get this one out of the way, and I'll do the other one later on today, maybe around 6 o'clock, or maybe around 7. This is a minor setback. These were supposed to be done yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do that, so I apologize. Alright, my first number one on the list is Miami. Miami's head coach is very interesting to do, and try to get through that as much as possible. Yes, they can try to run down the ball, I think so. I think he might be a good coach for Miami, maybe Tampa Bay, maybe the Texans, more than anything else. And I think that would be okay with that for the first number. This is number 1. Number 2 would be Iowa's head coach. Iowa would be perfect for New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, Indianapolis Colts, Dallas Cowboys, anybody that can get this guy serves a head coach. If Jerry Jones can get him for the right money price, that would be great. BYU would be another one. We'll find out. BYU, I'm not sure about this guy here because he's a very interesting coach. I would say the Las Vegas Raiders or the LA Chargers might be able to get him. It's like you gotta think. Kansas State would be another one down the line. Once the Commanders. I think Detroit Lions might be good for him for BYU's head coach. I think it might be perfect for him to do that. Any of the coaches in his area would be willing to sign him. Now, Texas, Texas coach, I would say he is going to stick with rather the Texans or the Cowboys. Maybe Indianapolis, but that would be perfect enough. But the other hand, with this one, I don't know about this one. It's kind of odd. Not too awkward, but very interesting. But no, I would say the Texas coach might be able to go with maybe Texas, maybe Dallas Cowboys, somewhere in that region. Maybe the other team, New Orleans Saints could be another one. You don't know about this one. I think Texas would be good for. And New Orleans Saints does need a good head coach right now. UFC is another one. UFC, I'm not sure. USC, I don't know about this coach. He could be good for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He could be good for Jacksonville Jaguars. Because they both did good new head coaches. On the other side of this, we're looking at Detroit Lions, Las Vegas Raiders, LA Rams, maybe LA, Kansas State Chiefs, maybe New York Jets, because New York Jets do need a very good, strong coordinator. So New York Jets might be one of those teams, maybe down the line as anything else. UFC, maybe the New York Jets could be able to do it. You don't know. I have confidence in this coach to where he can coach anyway. He can coach the New York Giants. That's more like it. But Jets do need a strong new coach. The coach from USC could be one of them. And I think Pittsburgh Steelers might want a new head coach on top of it. For the most part, I don't know about this one because it's like very determination of what this coach could be like. USC needs a very good coach. They do have a good head coach. I mean, they have a great coach for the USC. But how will he fit in the NFL level? It could be Jacksonville Jaguars, it could be Dallas Cowboys. Cleveland Browns also need a coach. He might go to Cleveland. Depending on what he does, I'm not sure if Cleveland is the right spot for this guy. But time will tell with this guy. You have to really look at all possibilities. Now, BYU, Cleveland might be good for the head coach for BYU. Could be good for Cleveland Browns. More anything else. Miami's head coach, maybe Cleveland. More than anything else. On to number 6 is TCU's head coach. I would say he would be good for Tampa Bay. He knows how to throw his school down the line. Try to get that fixed. Or anything else. They're not, you gotta think he throws good where he does it. So, TCU's head coach could go to Tampa Bay. Offhand, could go to New Orleans. What's the Commanders? It could be around that region. You gotta think. As for Detroit Lions, he might not go, but he may. Patriots, maybe. I know the coach that wasn't a coach. I know he's trying to get back to the ranks too, so it's like you gotta think. Could he be accepted by one of the NFL teams again? You gotta think. But no, I think the strongest coaches, I would say, is basically Iowa and Miami. Maybe Miami might get the Miami head coach. Because Miami Dolphins do need a good coach. He's a very good coach. I've seen a little bit of his stats. Offhand, depending on what he does. That's going to be him. That's going to be how he works. UCSC head coach would be more like the Texas style of it. He might go to Texas head coach as well. But the USC coach would be maybe going down to the Cowboys. I would say Jerry Jones would hire him off the spot. For the most part, he would hire him. But would that be enough to be a determination of it? Ole Miss, I would say, would be iffy with him for this coach. Because he might go to New York, he might go to Detroit, Texas, Cincinnati for the Cincinnati Bengals. LA Chargers, you gotta think where he's gonna lie, where that is not the actual losers. But the 2 top team coaches I'm looking at is mostly Iowa and Miami. Miami, Dolphins need a good head coach. Miami's good for him. He might stay in Miami. If he gets another call from, let's say, Jacksonville Jaguars, Kansas City Chiefs, Bengals, Cleveland Browns, anybody that can get him, they can get him. That's down the line a very good persona on it. TCU would be another one, on the other hand, could be able to look into this, but more often than not, it could be very tricky for him. Any of these coaches can go to what NFL team hires them. Past this, can they pass the audition, pass the interview with the GM and the owner? You gotta think, where will this take them? To a certain degree, you gotta think. I got another video coming out here within a couple minutes or so, but I want to get this one off my chest real quick. Try to get this one done. But no, I'm just saying, any of these coaches can do it. I mean, Texas, I would say, is going to go to Texas or Dallas Cowboys. That's the closest facility he's got. More than anything else. BYU, maybe Jacksonville, maybe Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Somewhere around that line. Miami also, stay in Florida more than anything else. Go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, go to Jacksonville Jaguars. Stay in Florida where you're going. That's the whole point of this. You gotta think where he is gonna go with it. And I think TCU and Ole Miss head coaches, they might be able to land the job. Maybe as a coordinator, maybe an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, but if they do float for a head coaching job, my biggest guess for these two team coaches would be a slight advantage. Maybe New York Giants, maybe New York Jets. Jets do need a new head coach. So I'm expecting the Ole Miss head coach and the TCU head coach probably go to New York. They need a new head coach right now. I think New York Jets could be able to do the fitting. So, they sucked for the last couple of years. Wasn't that good. It's hands down by far the incident that they can do it. The Texas coach, they might stay with Texas, or the Dallas Cowboys, it depends on where they're going to go. Now, the Texas head coach also might want to think about going to Cleveland. It's also in the range. Cleveland, Seattle Seahawks, Baltimore Ravens. There's a lot of possibilities for these coaches. But let me know what coaches you think in the college league could go to the NFL. It could be Florida State, Florida Gators, Ole Miss, Navy, Army. You gotta think what they're gonna do. So you gotta think, what college teams do you think should be able? Let me know in the comments down below what college coaches you think should go to the NFL. Alright, this is only the first segment. Like I said, these videos are supposed to be done a couple of days ago. I do apologize for the delay. So when this first video is out, the second video will probably be done at probably 7, maybe 6 in the morning. I'm getting this one done quicker. So that was my top 7 head coaches that might become head coaches in the NFL. So let me know in the comments down below what coaches you think. So until next time, John Vitt for the SNG Sports Talk Show. Take care and have a good day.